It says we're live. I'm waiting on you all to find me. Everybody stay hydrated. Everything is so wonky today. Hey, Deanine. My eyes are even wonky. It's like my reading glasses aren't right. Hey, Bonnie. Hey, everybody. Hey, Mary. Pamela. Good morning. You're so kind. Lori. Michael. Good morning to you. And Cindy. Kiki. Hey. Are you Greek, Kiki? Hello, Christine. Cheryl. Constance. That's interesting. It's showing people twice. I hope that doesn't mean you're getting knocked off and having to come back. Constance, Helen. Hey, everybody. I don't know if you saw my post, but my word for today is wonky. Definitely wonky. Hello, Crystal. So yes, Kiki is Greek. Good. I have some Greek friends. I had a fellow when I was much younger who wanted to take me back to Greece with him, but nothing was said about marriage, and I didn't really know him that well, so that was the end of that. He did move back to Greece, though. He looked like Sonny Bono. You remember Sonny Bono? Cher's husband? Okay. Sonia from Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. Yes, you caught me live. Here we are. Here we are. Wink from Maine. That's where my mentor, Brother Littlefield, was from Maine. East Stoneham, Maine, which kind of, I think, got overtaken by Portland, Maine. He was a very old man, so I guess everything changed. Hey, Elizabeth! Sending out love to you, girl. Crystal from North Carolina. Yes, Lori, we're here live. Yes, we are. Hey, Nikki, Lisa, Anupam. Hello, hello. Anupam, I wonder if I'm saying your name anywhere right. Where are you from? Your name is unique to me. Bonnie's from Pennsylvania. Wonky is the word. Yes, Constance. Okay. He was delightful, Kiki. He was exceedingly dignified, but incredibly warm and kind and loving at the same time. I have never met anyone like him. He's like he walked out of an old movie. And the best embodiment of the divine love of God I've ever met on the face of the earth. Good for you, Mary. She says she just finished her garden. Oh, Amanda. Peggy, hey, girl. I'm doing good, but wonky. Okay. And Sonia, I understand. My internet, my iPhone, my iPad, everything is all over the place. And you say tonight, so you must be a good ways off from me, because it's 10:33 a.m. in the morning here, Eastern Standard Time. But yes, hey, Patty Lynn. Michael, I'd be happy to. He says, can you tell us about the grounding equipment on the wrist? Please, miss. I'm 64. I guess you can call me miss now. One day I had a revelation about that, which was embrace your age. Embrace the time where you are. Age doesn't mean a lot to me, but it was like treasure and enjoy right now where you are on the wheel, so to speak. There are benefits to every time, so enjoy it all. People are always looking forward or backward and are rarely right here. So I want to be right here. Michael, I'm wearing some right now. This is the wristband grounding earthing band. That was repetitive. And you can see here, it's a little stretch band. You can adjust it to the way you want by this right here. You can pop it, lower it, you know, make it bigger. You probably don't care about all this, but I'm tightening it back with one hand on live chat and fasten it down. And then right here, it snaps on. Well, it snaps on tight, which is good. Okay, and on the inside here is a little metal plate. And that is what helps it be conductive against your skin. It hooks in to the third hole, little round hole on your outlet. I don't want to pull my phone down and show you right now, but there's a round grounding hole on your electrical outlets. You in Canada on your hydro outlets, I guess. We all are different. We say it different ways. And that will hook you into the grounding apparatus or wire connected to your electrical system and your house. So that means it brings you to zero, which is the earth frequency. And when these electrical storms happen, it's especially messy today. Oh well, it looks better sometimes when I get right out of bed. The hair I'm talking about. When we have these major electrical storms, we can get overcharged. We can get overcharged from electricity all around us in our home. One thing I would suggest is do not put your bed right up against an electrical outlet, certainly not the head of your bed. Pull it out from the wall a little bit, because all of this will literally light us up. You can take one of those little meters and it will show that it will raise your frequency, you know, because of all this extra electricity. So this will bring you to zero. And what does that mean? Well, in a lot of people, like my mom, when she was here, I got her a earthing wristband years and years ago, because I've been into all this stuff for a long time. Everything I sell is tried and tested by yours truly. And my mother had like arthritis and all kinds of different sorts of pains and aches and stuff. And she had swelling in her ankles, and it was a list of stuff. Well, she very tolerantly let me put it on her, and I left it at their house. To her amazement, she didn't have any pain anymore. How about that? All this crazy electricity and these frequencies and radio waves and cell phone stuff and everything shooting everywhere around us is affecting us in a big way. That's what we call EMF, electromagnetic frequency, harmful electromagnetic frequencies. And it's too much. Every cell of your body is electrical. Every atom, every quark is electrical. And with all these unnatural extra frequencies coming in on us just here on Earth, it's stressful, to say the least. And in the case of man-made frequencies, it's downright harmful. So when you wear the pendants, like you see I have on as usual. And you wear this, the earthing grounding wristband. And you wear the scalar bracelets. Whatever, all of these, if you use shungite. One of the cool things about shungite, this is just one of the little pebble types I have, is this will not only nullify electromagnetic frequencies that are harmful, but you can like drop a bag of this or a big piece of it on top of your Wi-Fi router. It will not stop the Wi-Fi from working, but it will neutralize the negative effects. That's what research says. So it helps and organizes, but does not hinder. So all of these things are fascinating to me. I love this stuff. I've always been teased about my gizmos. I've always been into science and stuff. This is the inside of one of our big black wristbands. That's a wristband here. And look at all the stones. All these stones, that is what makes it scalar. And scalar energy brings things down to a still point. It organizes, it alchemizes. Great stuff. Okay, what did I call you on here for? Let me show you. Briefly, let's look really quick. Hold on. On my high tech. Here we go. Yes, this is what I just posted. This is Kumiana. Yeah, there it is. And this was the latest reading. This was a while back. Well, hold on a minute. Look at that. I'm telling you, all our stuff is wonky today. Dang. Let's get back to the recents. There's no telling what's going to happen during this. Okay. Now, this is the most recent. And it kind of cut off the bottom. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. Okay, and for those of you who are like, I can't see the source, look up here. VLF.IT. www.vlf.it. This is what I call the alternative Schumann resonance charts, and I will show them often. Okay, let me turn you people off. There are people sending stuff right onto my screen. Okay, well, this is going to be one of those days. Just pre-warning right up front, like I told you. Wonkiness. Okay, pardon me, I've got to pull my focus back in. People start sending messages that show up in my face. Okay, Jason lad, please come watch the live chat. Don't send me messages, please, when I'm in the middle of this stuff. No, nobody can do it now. I get distracted easily, especially today in this wonkiness. So I was showing you here. This was the most recent reading to the far right, okay? That was at, I can't see through my mark. I would say that was 8, 9, 10. That would be 12 UTC. Check this out. This shows us the big picture. Do you see all this blank space? This was happening last night, and one of our tribe mentioned it and showed a picture of what last night's looked like, and I was like, yeah, I saw it, but I just was hoping it was technical and it would clear up, and I was so tired I didn't even post it. I'm tired right now. Not really right now so much, but I was last night. And it's been really busy. I know everyone's a little tired. Look here. there it is. Oops, my finger is messing us up. This is the most recent reading on the Kumiana chart that I just showed you. And yet, look here. Do you see all this space right here? And then another big red spike over here. But in between is all this blank stuff. This chart will often show you what is not showing up yet on the other charts, even from Kumiana. So we've had a big blank space here since that, even though it looks like that just happened. And we have another one just happening here. Or some other wonky thing is happening. So let's go and take a look at that. You have to look at me while I dig through and find. You didn't want to really see the menu from the Mexican restaurant. I looked up online last night. That's what you would have seen. Okay, let's go to the alternate chart. The VLF.IT. Everybody hear me? And by the way, these things are all listed at the top of my page under the Schumann kit. I list all the apps, and if I don't have VLF.IT, you hear me saying it, and I post it at the top of almost all my posts now. I let it show. I used to not let it show because I thought we were annoying these people who, it's sort of like their private club where they watch all these frequencies and then post it online. But apparently they don't mind, so now I'm letting it show up. Okay, let me refresh this page really quickly. And here we go. This, stop it! My goodness! Technology is crazy today. All right, here we go. This is Kumiana. Sorry for the haze. I should have closed my window, but I just wanted to look out my window. It's so nice out. Isn't that beautiful out there? And the sky. Okay, come back, Marguerite. I am squirrely today. Worse than usual, it seems. We have some real possible black spikes mixed in here, but they're not totally clear. But I want you to see the craziness. See this weird column? And more strange columns and more these kinds of things with the horizontal markings. We've been seeing that for a while. Here we have a nice big spike showing up. This is also Kumiana. This is the one we were just looking at. Ah, it's moved. Okay, so this is supposed to be right now. Oh, isn't that interesting? Nope, nope, there's the space still. Okay, what time is it right now? It is 14:47 UTC. This is showing 12, 13, well, it says 14. Then why is there a big split right here? And then showing a line that we're not showing up here yet. So you see things are wonky today. This is big. Just while we're here, let's do a little application. What does this mean to those of you who are wondering, who are new to our tribe? And by the way, just hang in with us. Eventually you'll learn all about this stuff. Eventually it will make really good sense. I would encourage you to watch the live chats because I go through and I read these things and I talk about them. There's no telling what I'm going to share during a live chat. But if you want to learn how to read the charts, watching the live chats is the best way, I think. Okay, so what does this mean to us? Well, to the right here we have hertz. This is the hertz on this particular chart, meaning the frequencies going up to 105 hertz. 105 is the very top. Very bottom is 5. Okay? This is going right out the top. As you can see, it's wide and a full band all the way out the top. There's no telling what kind of frequency this is in reality, but it's over 105 hertz. What does that mean? Well, that means your body, your nervous system, and your brain are going to respond to this somehow. Why? Because, oh, I'm going to pull out my terrible drawing. Because this is what the Schumann resonance is like. If I get this to stay up here, hold on. You know me, it's always technically smooth and professional. Never. Okay, here we go. Imagine this is Earth, okay? And I really can draw better than this, but this was quickly done in a live. That's Earth, all right? This is our ionosphere, which is the upper level of our extreme atmosphere. There's a lot of metallic stuff up in here. What happens is when we have lightning coming off from clouds or from volcanic eruptions or even earthquakes emit a type of electricity like lightning. When that happens, it doesn't just dissipate. What Dr. Schumann found in the late 40s is that it will come off the crust of the earth, or it will come out of the sky, goes up into the ionosphere, then it begins what we call the Schumann wave. Okay? It comes up and down in our atmosphere from the ionosphere, way out here, down to the crust of the earth, and back and forth. So when I say it's ubiquitous, it's everywhere, it really is. Even though this might be Italy right here, and that's where Cumiana's observatory is, their observation platform place, that isn't necessarily where the Schumann resonance is happening. It's not that specific because it's all over the place. It waves all over the earth. And it affects all of us. So it's ubiquitous. Now, when we have a solar flare, it's different. When there's a solar flare, forget all this out here. Let's say the sun there's more room. We'll just say the sun's up here, okay? And it has a solar flare that's big enough to leave its atmosphere and beat the polarities present on the sun. And immediately, Earth receives, within 30 minutes, what we call protons or X-ray energy. And this would be then the light side of the sun. This would be the side receiving sunlight. That side is going to receive that radiation, solar radiation, and protons that come from that immediate solar blast that was Earth facing. But the actual solar storm, or CME, coronal mass ejection, will not arrive for, days, usually 2 to 5 days. And when it comes, it will depend on which side of the earth is daylight covered as to where it will first blast in. But the bottom line is, first thing, it's going to hit our shields, and this really should be sideways. Okay. And oops, it should really be this way, but I don't think we'll be able to keep it up there. This is what it looks like on the magnetosphere. Oops, come back into focus. There we go. That doesn't look as good that way, does it? Anyway, sun's out this way. Solar flare, boom, it comes, the CME, and it hits our shields, which are out here. And you see this, we're going to look at this chart briefly, which is not working today. Okay. There we go. It's not working today, by the way. So it hits the shields and it disperses it. And it tends to go in at the top and the bottom. So even a solar flare is not really going to be directed at the Earth in a specific area, except in the initial, within 30-minute proton solar radiation blast. I hope that helps. Some. I hope that made sense. Okay, so what does it mean for us? It means that you're going to have some of what we have as energy symptoms sometimes. Depending on how sensitive you are, depending on how sensitive you are to electrical and magnetic and all this type of photonic energy. Some of us are very sensitive. I'm quite sensitive, but I hold my photonic light liquor well. Sorry, that's a funny joke. I don't drink alcohol at all. Don't like it, but it's still a funny joke. So you get to where you can tolerate it. You know, I've worked on different things in my life to be able to tolerate more energy, as you all are learning, and it'll get where they don't flatten you as often as they used to, even though they seem to be increasing in frequency and intensity. Okay, now, so that's the Schumann spiking. The Schumann resonance that we lean on is called the heartbeat of the earth. It's 7.83 hertz. It's always there, okay? But these spiking things are what we're especially interested in watching. Someone came on in the comments and said they knew a whole lot about this, and I thought, aha! And they proceeded to basically say that what we were showing was hogwash, and that the Schumann resonance did not change. Well, the Schumann horizontal baseline is always present. But if you notice, we now have 5 baselines that didn't used to show up. And we have a lot of vertical spiking, which is the changing part of the Schumann resonance. Okay, rambling. Let's see if anything has changed. So I'm going to refresh this page. And looks about the same. We still have that funny piece over to the side. And last night, it looked really crazy, by the way. And I will show you a picture I took from last night. Here's this funny thing over here. Don't know what's going on. Just wonkiness, lots of energy, as you can see. And this is strange, too. And I did post this. I posted it and didn't show up. I had to post it again. It finally showed up. Let's use the diamond file for our pointer right now. Maybe it won't knock it out of focus as much. See this big old spike on this graph? But do you see this crazy looking thing? And before that, there was nothing. Nothing. So, this is the second Schumann resonance frequency. And look at it. It was doing nutty things yesterday. So this is more of the wonkiness happening. Let's move on down through here. And let me back this off a bit. And let's just look and see if we see anything else notable for our conversation right now. Possible black spikes. We've gone green on the magnetic field today. Oh, look, the trees. We love the trees. And the trees have some very odd anomalies inside the anomaly of the trees. You see what I'm talking about? Look at those lines. Yep, and over here too. Very interesting. Okay. We always like seeing the trees, and these are trees also, but it's like a mirror image. And imagine this is their sky between them. And they're sort of cedar-looking, evergreen, conical trees packed in tight. Whenever we see that, it's an anomaly, but we enjoy seeing it. It is encouraging to us. This is hourly strips. Look at this. It goes in 15-minute increments. Like this one's 12:30, 12:45, and that's UTC. But look at this. More wonkiness, beloved. Check it out. It's like time is compressed. Yeah, it's all over the charts. It's not just one. It's multiple places, and we only have, well, we have half of what we used to have. as far as charts to observe, because they just have been disappearing. See this crazy thing? We showed that yesterday, and this is notable also. Okay, moving along. We have this odd-looking thing happening here, and this odd-looking thing. On and on, more odd-looking things. Okay. More wonkiness. Everywhere we look, there's wonkiness. Now let me show you. This is the Kumiana today, looking pretty wild. And this is Kumiana today. Now let me show you what it looked like last night. I took a picture and I was like, that's nuts. I'm not even going to post it. I'm tired. I don't want to try and explain it. I was just kind of up to here, if you know what I mean. Here we go. That was last night. The time, it says, okay, here y'all, this is where you're going to see the details. Across the top, shows you the website, which is fuzzy. VLF.IT. This is the geophone at the top. And why is it out of focus? It is the 4th of June. That was last night. And in Italy, it was already into today, where I am. Okay? Look at that. Look at that crazy mess. Something blasted the geophone hard, and it created this big, nice black spike. But I didn't post it because there's just been so much to post lately, and you all get so overwhelmed you stop responding, and I feel like I've lost my crowd. So, and I get tired too, you know. It has not stopped for days and days with the storming and etc. So I just didn't post it, but I did take a picture. And here we go. Let's look a little closer at what's going on in here. You see all this? Look at all this. Crazy looking stuff. Over here, and then there's our nice black spike. Okay, and all this nutty stuff. So there we have it. That was what was happening last night, and this should be, and it is, this is the next scene. This is the very top chart of Kumiana, I think. Yes, this is the top chart. You can tell by the numbers are so much bigger in the Hertz area. Okay. Nutty. We are blank over here. Funny line, then blank, then stuff, and then blank, and then more of this. And this was happening last night. The wonkiness was in full swing, and I just thought, oh, it's technical issues. I don't want to deal with it right now, but I took an image. We are living in kind of crazy times, I guess you've noticed, in just about every way. And I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. This is what I heard this morning. I wrote it down. The question is, can I find it while I'm sitting here with you? I know what I said. I guess I'll just quote it. I was going to show you where I wrote it down. I'll just quote it to you because it's simple. This is what I heard. Take it or leave it. I'm not toting this to make a point. I don't need to prove anything. What I heard was, it is unraveling now. I thought, it's unraveling now. And with it came an understanding of what it was, like in concept. And I thought, okay, wait, here it is. This is a literal quote. The fabric is starting to unravel now, meaning it's happening now. I heard that this morning. The fabric is starting to unravel, and it's happening now. That was the gist of it. What does that mean? Well, I'd say it's up for interpretation, but sorry, I'm sweeping you all around my room. I think what we're talking about, and I'm not saying this flippantly, but you know, we'll see. We will see if this is accurate. The fabric of the so-called matrix is starting to unravel, like a sweater or a knit scarf, starting to come apart, unraveling. Maybe just one thread at a time, or it may be a lot more, or coming from multiple directions, but I think we're all seeing this. Do you all relate to what I'm saying? We're seeing this false matrix, this simulation that a lot of scientists tell us we're in. We're seeing it come apart. We're seeing it start to unravel. We're seeing time stepping into a place where it is so erratic. There are so many timeline shifts. There are so many anomalies. There's so many spatial anomalies that many of us are experiencing. But, you know, it's all relative too. Depending on what's happening in your life. I know I look like a camel. I've got this too close. Let me hang it up out of the way. If you are pressing forward, if you're really pushing into truth and love, and you want to align yourself with Source and with one another, which is where respect and love for others comes into place, a lot of intense choices and yielding and surrendering and choosing what is important and what you spend your time doing. If you run around chasing after stuff and things and materialism and pleasure, and you keep your nose buried in the news and your eyes buried in the conventional news, then you very possibly are still very stuck in the system because it's all promoting this particular theme or line of reality. But the more that you seek after spiritual and not just material things, and you're wanting to align yourself with love and light and peace and harmony, you have to separate yourself away. If not in actual not viewing it, then you do it in your heart and your mind. As some of us who are doing that continue on this path of what some people call enlightenment or consciousness, we will see even more of the anomalies, I believe. We will see even more of the timeline shifts, I believe, because we are choosing to be a part of ascending, what is called ascending, depending on what belief system you're part of. Call it rapture, call it sanctification, call it ascension, call it enlightenment, call it whatever fits the terminology. Moving towards New Earth, moving towards 5D. And moving is not an actual spatial thing, it's a opening up sort of thing. It's a shift that takes place. It's more dimensional. as we press in these directions, it's going to become more and more obvious, even to those of us who are just trying to stay in the system, who want to appear to be sane, whereas the rest of us who are looking at things and coloring outside the lines and reading the things that are being said outside of the conventional lines, some may say we look like we're really out there. But you know, it's not a bad thing in my opinion. Outside the lines are miracles. Outside the lines are revelations, aha moments, inventions, etc. And there have always been people who were outside the lines, and we called them the greats. Of course, I think it's Rome. Maybe Greece too said when somebody was a little off according to the common person up here, they called them touched by the gods. So being unconventional and different will set you apart, but we're finding our tribes, and the group that is going this way is getting bigger and bigger. I think every timeline shift we take, if we're going higher, the group gets wider and wider, because as we ascend, we're going up in this, and the shifts are just going to create that kind of a situation. It's all my opinion. So once again, what I heard this morning was the fabric is beginning, no, let me say it exactly right. The fabric is unraveling now. Isn't that what I said? Let me get back over here. So funny. The fabric is starting to unravel. Wow, I need to get it right. The fabric is starting to unravel now. But I got the feeling it wasn't just like at one moment. It's like the beginning of. You know, like when you pull that one thread loose on something that's knit together, and it just begins to unravel. The pattern comes apart. Think about what that means in our situation here. Now, I heard another thing. I heard it's in alignment with Source Will. But I heard this was like an egregore created by our collective thoughts, feelings, etc. Isn't that interesting? So in that sense, we as a collective seem to be creating this. Egregore, my best description off the top is like when a group of people begin to believe, or a large group of people out of the collective begin to believe in certain things, and they see it, they feel it, their emotions are involved in it, their logic and reason, we begin to create that thing. And I think that's how a lot happens in this world, because that seems the way God, Creator, Source, made this place. So the fabric is starting to unravel. And I believe the fabric refers to the false matrix that we've been kind of trapped in for at least 6,000 plus years now. So these are exciting times and challenging times, and certainly not common times. Let me quickly show you again. Oh, sorry, I hope that wasn't loud to you all. There once again, this is what Kumiana looked like last night. This is also Kumiana. See this little tiny something over there? And then nothing. Well, not true. Up at the very top, there's a little teeny something. This is a graph that goes with that same Schumann resonance frequency, and the only thing it's showing is this over here, and we saw more of that today. Oh, this is where I was making a deal to put some stuff I bought some more stuff for our store, our online energy store last night. Okay. So, that was one of the main things I wanted to show you, but let's go ahead and see what's happening in the Russian Schumann resonance while we're here. And there are anomalies and things happening everywhere. Okay, this is the spectrograph, Russian Schumann resonance, and this is what's happening now, apparently. And no, I don't want to do that. Okay, so here we are. So what does this mean? Well, it has, right here you see the different levels. Blue is the background, then we go to kind of a light cerulean blue, I would call it, then green, then yellow, then red, then white. And you can see we have white involved here, and we have a lot of green covering a lot of hertz, and the hertz are over here on the left on the Russian charts. It goes from 0 up to 40. There you go. It's covering a lot of that, which means today will be a day you can do some work. And if things start coming to you, past experiences, past hurts, past revelations, whatever, today anything could happen because these things are going to be kind of tweaked and touched on. So as the energies come in, and we see them on the charts, they also correlate to brain waves. And we won't go any further into that right now. I've talked about it in the past, and I have charts at the very top under the featured post in the Schumann kit and an article, and it shows you all kinds of things about it if you want to check that out. Let me tell you how busy we've been. I didn't even post this. I took pictures, but I never posted it. It had a big black spike on the electromagnetic background chart. And that was on the 3rd. I didn't even bother to post it. I got overwhelmed. It's just been too much to keep up with. I just haven't been able to do it. I have other things in my life that I'm doing too, but it's just a little overwhelming. But I love you all, and that's why I'm hanging in here. And I love being with you all. And this isn't some sort of charity thing. On the contrary, I love our tribe, and I need you all. You help me not feel alone. Oh, who is that? Oh, look, I've even got rosy cheeks for this. Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? My goodness, that's a lot of comments. I'm zooming through. Terry. Thank you, Terry Phelps. Love you and the tribe, she says. So those were for you all too, y'all. To our tribe, to our family. Okay. I see nothing notable happening on the charts right now for the spaceweatherlive.com. This is our update here. Current warnings and alerts. We're in, of course, a G1 minor geomagnetic storm, a KP5. That's becoming like boring. We would normally get all excited about that, but right now we're all just sort of full of it. We've had a lot. Solar wind is currently moderately high at 680.3 kilometers per second, which seems slow when we saw 1,011.2 kilometers per second recently. All right, the strength of the interplanetary magnetic field is moderate at 11.67 nanoteslas. The direction of the BZ is south, which that means polarity, and that means we're going to feel this a bit. Stay hydrated, everyone. That means drink water. Good, clean, pure water if you can. Drink spring water. That would be my advice. Okay, coming on down, and you can see it's not a lot happening here. Now, I want to show you, and we'll see if it's still doing the crazy wonky thing. This one kind of alarmed me because I really enjoy the Geospace magnetosphere cut planes model. And I looked at it earlier. Oh, who is that? Look, that's so funny. Who did that? Patty Lynn, thank you. She sent me 500 stars too. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm feeling the love. It makes me feel loved and appreciated, really. I thank you. Thank you, thank you. A lot of people think you get rich on Facebook, and we have a lot of followers, you know, but strangely, Facebook, I do well on the biggest month, and it ends up being from stars to make $167. That is a high month for me. And yet other people are making big bucks, and I'm not sure what's going on there, but of course I do well to even get my posts put on without getting cut off and thrown off Facebook. Okay, thank you, Patty Lynn. 500 stars equals $5, y'all. And thank you. I love you, and I appreciate you for doing that. Okay. Geospace magnetosphere cut planes is where I tend to look when I can't tell what's going anywhere else. And this morning when I looked, it was covering less than 30 minutes. Okay, it's still messed up. This across the bottom normally covers about 3 hours. We have a slider that goes across and it shows us a period of 3 hours. It's showing us nothing right now. I've touched it. It won't load. Touching it, it won't load. No loading. You see what's happening? Earlier, it was doing this. The slider was going across that quick, and it was covering less than 30 minutes, when normally it shows us 3 hours. So more wonkiness. I'm going to refresh it again. And let's see. Nope. It will not load. It won't show us anything. I think everything's unraveling. I think the fabric is starting to unravel. That was exactly what I heard. And it meant now. Okay. We'll see. Everything may look like it returns to normal, but we're in exciting times. How do you prepare? I don't think you can prepare in the natural enough. I try to keep plenty of drinking water on hand, and I have some canned foods and dry foods, things that are non-perishable, but not a lot. I'm not worried about it. I think the only way you can prepare for this in reality is in your heart. I think you prepare in your heart. There are lots of scriptures out there that talk about forgiveness and love and about your eye being filled with light, and then your whole body will be filled with light. If your heart is true, and if you're spending the time and letting yourself be honest before yourself and before God, Source, Great Spirit, all the names we have for this great one that we come from and in reality are one with. If you let yourself grow, you'll be getting ready. If you don't take the time, if you're not interested in eternal spiritual sorts of stuff, you might not be as ready as you could be. So I would say, first off, to prepare, forgive everybody. How do you do that when people can be such asinine jerks? I'll share this with you quickly. This was priceless to me when I discovered it. I used to try to forgive everybody. I used to say, I forgive so-and-so. And then I would spend time blessing them, their family, everything to do with them, and tried to do it until I didn't feel that little inside, you know what I mean? And I'm not being foolish with this. There are real wounds in this life. Real betrayals. Real treacherous things that can happen to us. But we have to process them ourselves as God, as our creator source, and as love helps us. Doesn't mean we just let it, we don't pay mind to it, we go on hating everyone. You can't do that. Not and have a successful outcome. So this is what I used to do. I'd try and bless them until I didn't feel that inside, and it just wasn't working for me. Then a young lady I was teaching, I had a group I was teaching and mentoring. She brought me a book by Louise Hay, and she was into a lot of New Age stuff, and I was not. And I was like, I wasn't sure, you know, but I was open. She said, is this okay? And I took it and I held it in my hands. I have this thing. If it has a demonic, devilish influence, my hands hurt. It's like a gift. And I didn't feel that. So I decided to read the book. And it was called You Can Heal Your Life. And in it, she talks about forgiveness. And she talks about, you know, really bad things can happen to you. And you don't have to hang out with that person. You don't have to make them a part of your life. It's wise to walk away from some people. Definitely. But she said you need to forgive them for your own sake. Because cancer and other diseases are very much related to resentment, unforgiveness, and unresolved anger and hatred, etc. It steals from you to keep unforgiveness in your heart and in your life. So she said, no one wakes up in the morning and says, I think I'm going to be a complete jerk and harm all the people that are close to me and that I love. She said, nobody wakes up that way. Well, I think some people do, but it didn't happen overnight. You hear me? They didn't used to be that way. So it took me a while to receive and accept what she said. I was like, I don't know about that. And then after I read a little more, and she said, you got to realize that people are broken. I knew that. We're all broken in places. And there's such a thing as the SALT covenant, it's called. And it basically means you acknowledge that you're broken and others are broken. And in that place, you forgive them because basically, but for the grace of God, there go I. That kind of mentality. And the fact that we're all one and connected. When I forgive you or someone else, I'm forgiving me. And if I resent and hold unforgiveness and hatred and curse you, I just cursed me. Bottom line, we are one. So moving along, she said, this is what you say. You say, you take hold of it. You take charge. You take your power back. You say, that person's name so-and-so, I forgive you for not being what I wanted you to be. You see how it makes it about us, not them. I forgive you for not being what I wanted you to be. In other words, this person has disappointed us. They have broken the rules. They have done something bad in our opinion, and we don't like it. This is our thing. Then you say, so I know somehow, so-and-so, you're doing the best you can right where you are with what you have and where you've been and what you've experienced. And therefore, because I have been forgiven for so much. I can afford to forgive you. So-and-so, I forgive you, I release you, and I set you free. Now, going back and breaking it down a little more, number one, nobody becomes a complete jerk or horrible nightmare creature overnight. Something happened to bring them to that place. So, bottom line, you say, somehow this is the best you can do right where you are, with what you have, where you've been, what you've experienced. You know, if you had been locked up in an attic your whole life by a family that hated your guts, and you were fed very little food and given very little water, and were abused on a regular basis, and then suddenly you were out in the world, how would you react? How would you behave? How could you develop social skills? How could you exhibit love and unconditional love if you had never experienced it? That's an extreme example, but that's the gist of it. So we don't know what happened to that person. We're not them. Only God can judge us. We cannot judge one another because we don't know enough to be able to judge. So here it is again, and you say it out loud, and you put the person's name in, you think of what they've done to you and how it made you feel, you process it. You say, so-and-so, I forgive you for not being what I wanted you to be. You feel it. So I know somehow that's the best you could do right where you were with what you had, where you've been, what you've experienced. And I have been forgiven for a whole lot. This is true. And I can afford to forgive you. So-and-so, I forgive you, I release you, and I set you free. What does that mean? It means I'm not going to try and judge you. I'm not going to try to hope ill to come on you. Or I'm not going to say, you know, you could have done better and I won't let you go. That's what I used to do to people. I didn't realize it. The same perfection I held myself to and constantly failed in without realizing it, I put it on others. So when they treated me horribly or did something really bad, and there have been bad things that have happened to me, I believed they could have done better. And I judged them, and I did not let them go. It took this revelation from this book, from a source I was totally unfamiliar with, who said it in a way I'd never heard it said, for it to get through to me. And I was like, dear Lord, I haven't been letting those people go free because I was still judging them. I thought they could have done better. That's how you forgive. And I did that one day, and I've shared this before. I sat in my backyard after a situation at the job where I worked at an art gallery, and a woman there who had treated me horribly. She had power in her words that were destructive to me. Shot my blood pressure, my heart rate out the ceiling, and it was totally unjust. And the manager, who was only 19 years old, and this one was in her 60s, said, I'm sorry, if you can't deal with it, you're just going to have to quit, Marguerite, even though you're one of our best. And it was unjust, it was wrong, and I left, and I stopped off at an emergency room because I knew I was in trouble. And when the doctor tried to get blood out of me, my blood pressure was so high, it squirted him. It was bad. It was bad. I went home, and it was that very day, I think, that day or the next day. It was hot outside. I went in my backyard. I had like a pea gravel garden area. I sat there, and I went through everyone I could think of in my whole life. My family, my friends, my distant relatives, people I went to school with, people I went to church with, people I had met at work and jobs. I went through literally hundreds of people. And I found that as I thought of them, there was something they had done to disappoint me. Almost everyone, which was a real shocker to me. And I went through and I said that over each person, and I felt what I felt at the beginning, and then I let them go. And after sitting there, literally with sweat dripping off of me on a day, it was 90 plus degrees, and like it is where I live so often, at least 90% humidity. And I was tired and I was upset, and I had basically had to walk away from my job. It was not a good situation. Lots of stresses. And I had chronic pain at that time. I mean bad chronic pain, fibromyalgia. They had all kinds of names for it. At the end of that, which took me hours to finish, I was tired and drained. I stood up, and to my shock, I had no pain in my body anywhere. Y'all hear me? No pain anywhere. I stood there in shock. I had not been without pain in so many years. Never. And I never forgot that. And from time to time, I will do this. I'll sit down and I'll go through everyone I can think of and forgive and release everyone. Okay. That's one of the ways we can prepare for whatever is happening, whatever it means that the fabric is starting to unravel, which I think it means the false matrix is starting to come apart. I mean, seriously, it's been happening, but it's really happening right now. Just look at social media. Look at what is happening in the world. Don't look at just what legacy media tells you, because it's not showing you the whole picture at all. Look at what's happening around us. Look at the weather. Look at the sky. Look at the stars. Look at the charts. Look at the Schumann resonance. Look at the solar weather. Look at the earthquakes. Look at the flooding and the drought and every extreme you can imagine. Yes, there's always been some of that. This is a special time, and time is not the same as it used to be. There is a scripture that says, for the sake of the chosen or the elect, whatever that means, time will be cut short. As a mercy, I think time is being cut short. I think we're seeing that. We're seeing a lot of things. So, there was one of those little things where I just stopped and share from my heart with you all. I hope it's useful. I hope it's helpful. I hope it's answering questions in your hearts. These are auspicious times, meaning times that have been foretold, prophesied, and seen from long ago. It's happening now. It's exciting and a little bit unnerving sometimes. And I'll share one more thing, just because many people are experiencing many symptoms right now. I don't get hit that hard usually, but yesterday morning, and I'm on Eastern Standard Time, I'm not sure exactly what time it was. I would say it was between 9 and 11 a.m. Suddenly, it felt like something hit me right here in the right occiput cerebellum area. Pain suddenly happened right there, and I was like, whoa, what was that? And with the muscle testing, I touched it, and yeah, it reflexed. And it was hurting like not good. And yet, I didn't get anything I was to do to it, not adjust anything or move anything. But I came around the front, and I touched here. Right, this in between the bones here. And it reflexed. That is where I have found in the past, if I press in and down, it will adjust a certain disc in my neck. And when I did that, it made this deep thunk sound, and the pain let up, but it didn't go away. There are things and energies that are hitting us now, beloved, that are so strong that they can knock something out of place in our bodies. They can do it energetically. Not that it's a malicious act. It's just, this is powerful stuff. I had to go to my neurologist for a checkup yesterday, since my big car accident, getting hit from behind and all that it did to me. And I'm grateful I'm alive and I'm feeling like myself, but like nurses and doctors have told me, they say I was lucky. I know it's more than luck. I said, you're lucky to be alive after that. I have something to do. I have a purpose. And I'm not leaving here until my God is done with me. And I've been given the choice to leave many times, and I chose to stay. I'm not leaving until I'm done. I'm not leaving you all until I'm not of use anymore. And I'm very grateful to be here. I'm very grateful to be feeling and thinking like me again, because that concussion was awful. I found out how much I missed my 137 IQ. Woo! It was bad. I missed me. So I think I'm mostly back. I think I am back. And I'll tell you how it happened. One morning, I was sitting, kind of hanging out, doing my morning contemplations, meditations, and prayers, and I found myself in a heavenly place, and the Lord Jesus was there. And I won't go into the whole thing, but he put his arms around me and held me in his embrace. And boy, was that wonderful. After all of this and feeling so alone, even with all you all loving on me, I have felt so alone, and it's been just a tough time. And he wrapped his arms around me and healed my heart and my emotions. And then he reached up while still holding me in an embrace, and he reached up with his hands to the top of my head. And I felt that healing power going in. That was the day my brain was okay again. That was, this coming Saturday will be the third Saturday since that happened. And all I can say is, wow, and what a wonderful life, and how wonderful to know this one and to understand that everything is possible. All things are possible. I received a lot of supernatural healing and health in my life, and this was another one. And I'm back. My brain is back. My lower back is, I believe the bones are healed, but my muscles and tendons and ligaments are all still adjusting, so I'm kind of sore still, and the neck is still going through a little something, but my brain is back, and I'm so thankful and grateful. Thank you. My dear friend, the love of my life. So, okay, you all. This is today. This is what's happening in our lives. This is the potential, the hope, and the excitement of our experience. The fabric is starting to unravel. So take a deep breath. Let's do it now. Ready? And out. Just kind of shake it down a little. Breathe in again through your nose. And out. There's like a stillness and an energy that comes in at the same time. There are incredible energies afoot. There are incredible happenings afoot. And we are safe in oneness with our source. We are safe in the place of unconditional divine love. Now, if you get more directions, follow them. I don't mean to simplify or be contrary to anything that God or Source might be sharing with you. But how do you prepare? That's how. We just talked about it. It's a heart thing. No fear. I feel no fear. There's no fear in love. And when you know you're loved and you know that there is a system, there is a reason and a rhyme to why we're here, you know there's no reason to fear. Don't be afraid. It's okay to be excited. And sometimes we say we're nervous and anxious, when actually what we are is we're excited. It's exciting. It's like being on the edge of your chair during an exciting movie or reading an exciting book. You're like on the edge, like, what's next? That's what it feels like to me. So what do we do in the meantime? We love. And we fill this world with as much light and hope and kindness as we can. Because, dear Schumanites, as we hold this love line, as we stay in this place of unconditional divine love, we really are changing our world. Maureen, that's cute. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, what is it doing? Oh, that's funny. Look at that one. That was different. I gotta get down there and take a look at that. Everything moved on me during that. Maureen, thank you. I know she sent me some stars too for that to trigger. Thank you, Maureen. She sent me 500 stars. Thank you. I have seen 500 stars 3 times. That's $15. Thank you all. I appreciate it. Feeling the love. Lisa Cox says, thank you for opening up and sharing your experience with the concussion and healing. Your calm voice had me believing God was talking through you to me at the same time. Much love to you. Yeah. Thank you, Lisa. Make me cry. You know, we all gotta have little pep talks with ourselves from time to time. You know what I mean? We gotta talk to ourselves and encourage ourselves. And you just really encouraged me. But one of the ways I remember why I do what I do and why I chose to stay here is to remember what the Lord said to me about this page and about these live chats. And I hope AI and whatever else is checking me out doesn't get all worked up about the word I'm about to use. The Lord himself told me. He said, Marguerite, let me hang this up so I can let my hands be free. He said, Marguerite, I have put messages or codes in your eyes. I have put messages or codes on your face, in your words, in your heart, in my hands. And he said, as you talk to the people on your Schumann page, which he calls you, many of you, his, he said, I am speaking to them. Even if you may be talking about the weather, I am speaking to them kind of coming in through the back door like you might on a computer. He said, I am speaking to them and to their hearts because so many of them have been beaten up and abused and treated so badly by religious people of all religions. And many Christians, so-called Christians, have misrepresented this one who is love, whose message was love and forgiveness and total acceptance, and saying, God the Father, God the Mother, our Heavenly Parent loves you just like you are, and there is no separation. The debt is paid. This one said to me, they are looking for me, some of them, but they have been so hurt by religious people that they think I am like these people. And he is not. He is not. But he said he was going to speak to your hearts himself and show you who he is. And he said he would do it even in the middle of our live chats. I've been to heaven a bunch of times. I've seen this beautiful one, the Lord Jesus. I have seen him face to face. I've stood in his embrace many times. And he put something in me. And so when you said that, that really got me. This is one of the things I remind myself of, that no matter what it looks like, no matter how tired I am, no matter if I get hit from behind, and maybe it was on purpose, no matter what enemies may try to stop me, they won't stop me until it's time for me to leave. I am protected. And I know that this is not just a live chat. I know it's not just me blah, blah, blah. I know that things are being done. And it's being done by love. And I do love you all. I don't want to seem too mushy, all that, but I do love you a bunch, a whole lot. And it's in a way I can't even describe. It's bigger than me. And I think that's what you all feel. I think that's what you feel during some of our live chats. I think that's what you hear in my voice that some of you all have described. And by the way, a lot of my videos, I put them on my YouTube channel. And I need to drop more of those on here. I need to go on and add details to those. And it's just, I've been having trouble finding the time. But I've dropped a ton of videos because Facebook is going to delete all these. And one woman named Lisa, who was a computer genius type, it's what she did for a living. She had a lot of illness, she had a lot of challenges, and she said she couldn't sleep at night for pain and everything. And she used to take my live chats and loop them, recorded them and loop them, and she would listen to them. And she said she could sleep. The pain would back off, and the illness and the symptoms would leave her when she listened to my voice. And I was just stymied by that, but I realized it's not me. And I understood at that point, this is bigger, way, way, way bigger than me. This is the Creator, our source, reaching out to us with love. It's so much bigger than me, bigger than all of us. So the YouTube channel, you could probably loop that if you want to, and you don't have to listen to what I'm saying. It's just whatever's coming through that. If it ministers and helps you and makes you feel better, go for it. And anyway, I love you much, and I don't know how long I've been talking, but I'd say it's been quite a while. I don't think anything has, let's see if anything has shifted. Let's see if we can actually access. Nope, the geospace magnetosphere cut planes is still totally offline. Let's see if quickly, okay, the Kumiana Schumann resonance has moved on. Things are still wonky, but space has moved during our live chat, and it's active, but not as crazy as it was. See right here? This is where we were, and here's where we are. And this one down below is still crazy. Look at that. It's all split up, strange. I don't know what this is over here. That is the word for today, wonky. Definitely wonky. So if you feel wonky, I do, just take some deep breaths and just do the best you can. Try to flow with it, try to surf, try to dance through it, find the good things, find something to be grateful for and focus on that. What my mentor, Brother Littlefield, used to do, he used to go out on a day he was feeling depressed or sad. He would go to the hospital. I don't know if you could get away with this now. It was a much smaller town here back then. He'd go to the hospital and walk the halls until he felt led to walk into someone's room, and he would sit down on the edge of their bed. He would break into your private personal zone right away. And man, the love of God, the power and love of God, this peaceful Father thing was all over him. And people just didn't know what to do with him because they could feel it. And he would sit there and let himself be healing. And anything he could do for that person in the natural, he would do for them too. But that's what he'd do. He'd go find someone, he said, in worse shape than him, and he would help them in some way or be kind to them, meet some need in their life, and that would help him pull himself out of a dark hole that he himself was experiencing. Excellent advice. Let's go out into this world and shine brightly and love people and cheer ourselves up by staying in that amazing love, gratitude vibe. So I love you all very much, and I'm going to hop off of here. And let's all spend the day in a place of gratitude and love, and rest when you can. Stay hydrated. I would say avoid conflict unless you enjoy conflict. I would measure what you do, because you need all your energy in a place to help you flow through all of this beautifully. Oh, go to the online store if you don't already have the scalar energy jewelry or devices, all of these things to help you flow. Go and check out what I have compiled and put together, things I've used. I started using these kinds of technologies in the 90s, and I searched and found sources that would give me a good enough price that I could pass it on to you at a good price, but know that it's quality. So just go check it out if you like. And I wish you a totally beautiful day, and that you will find yourself riding the high places. Love you much. See you later.